Alright team, quick tips for Torian Qualifier number 1. For anyone that's involved with the Torian Qualifier, it's a 7-minute AMRAP, 7 toe to bar, 7 bar facing burpees, 7 power cleans, 61 and 42.5 for males, females respectively, into a 5-minute 1 rep max clean and jerk. Gear placement. We're just going to be really quick and thorough with these tips. Gear placement. We want your barbell about 1.5 meters away from the rig, so when you finish your toe to bar, you have a quick transition dropping off the bar into your first burpee. It doesn't mean your first burpee has to be fast because the drop will be fast. Slow yourself down, control yourself, but this is where your bar will be for the most efficient timing. So there's no walking to your barbell. If there's 1 to 1.5 seconds per round and you're aiming for 7+ rounds, you'll be looking at losing about 8 seconds overall for the total cost of time. Gear selection as well on top of that. If you let's say, there's a couple of ways to think about it. If you aren't so efficient at toe to bars and your grip blows up a little bit, it'll be a wise idea to do singles on the cleans. If your anaerobic capacity isn't very good either, it will also be a wise idea to do singles on the cleans just to control your breathing a little bit better and save the forearm fatigue in the grip. So we have dead bounce plates here, meaning that the bar will not bounce very high once it's dropped, and it will stay relatively in the same place for when you're finished. If you're doing singles, the bar can bounce all over the place, which can cause you having to pick it up, move it, or walk into your bar from your burpee. So gear selection, if you have it, if your gym is set up with that equipment, by all means have a look at the 2 different styles and what works for you. The toe to bar style. So we have 2 different formattings of what we do for our toe to bar. We have the scoop toe to bar, and then also the long arching kip toe to bar. Now the number of toe to bars in the workout is 7 per round. It's pretty insignificant of grip fatigue, so we are looking at doing the faster of the 2, which is the scoop, and we've put it out in the video demonstration that it is faster to do the scoop rather than the arch kip. However, the arch kip is more sustainable for a longer period of time. We think that the reps are insignificant enough that you can get away with doing the scoop toe to bar for faster, efficient toe to bars across the sets, and even if it were to break down by the time that it does, you can then now go back or resort to the arch kip, and you've already benefited from that. So if that again is like 1.5 to 2 seconds per round over the cost of 7-8 rounds, you're looking at 14 to 16 seconds, which is also around about another whole 2 sets of toe to bars. For the burpees, in this workout, 7 minutes is a short time and a long time as well. So if you're 2 minutes in and you're going hundies, as we would say, then your heart rate can really elevate to a point that you don't want it to. So we're looking at controlling our heart rate on the burpees, working hard on our toe to bar to make all of our reps, and then allowing ourselves the time just to stay nice and neutral in the burpee. So step into the burpee, a nice 2-footer, hop over, no rush, like you're going to go fast down to the ground. Don't rush yourself off the deck, but control your breathing there, and then we get into the power cleans. The power cleans, it's a light barbell. Move through the power cleans. If you are doing touch and go, smooth as fast, because there will be already a cyclical rate. We've got the difference on there between 7 unbroken touch and go and 7 between the singles, and the difference is about 1.5 seconds. So it's pretty insignificant in terms of the damage it can cause you for doing either. So for me personally, I'm thinking for the power cleans to be done in singles, just so that I can get back to the toe to bar faster, and I can make my time. I'm looking at making my time up on the toe to bar, and to allow the rest of my workout at a comfortable speed. On that, if you don't make your toe to bar at 7 straight reps, if you have to break them, make sure that you don't fall down to hands or knees, because wherever you break your toe to bars, you'll be about 1 to 3 reps away from finishing them. Stay urgent, stay active, and stay involved and engaged to getting back to your toe to bar. The clean and jerk, don't underestimate it, don't overestimate it. So it's not as important as the toe to bar, but it's also, don't deem it not as important either. So our suggestion is to warm up to 85% during the warm up. No more has to be done than 85%. Just get a feel for how you're moving the barbell. Don't try to go 90-95%, because you could actually cause yourself damage during the workout by being too fatigued. So when it comes to hitting that first barbell for your clean and jerk, when it comes to the 5-minute time frame, and on top of that, like you're going to work hard for that 7 minutes right through the end of the time cap, and then from there we'll have a look at the clean and jerk when it happens. You address it when it comes. For the clean and jerk, you will have time if you really need to sub your shoes out. So if that's a thing, if you need to put lifters on, you'll have the time to do that, but make sure you're urgent. That's the first thing that you'll do. If your power clean is better than your squat clean, power clean always, or if you can power clean your 85% to start off with, do that. Save your legs the drive and fatigue factor of coming out of that, but the barbell still has to go overhead. 85% will be your first rep, and it's just to get something on the board. You'll then adjust and look at just your weight and how it was moved to determine what weight goes on the bar next. Don't kind of have premeditated weights. And saying that, remember that a lot of gyms have the rounded numbers, 100 and then 2.5 and then 5 kilos, 7.5, and the rounded 10 again. If you have increments, 1s and 2s and 0.5s in between that, it's not a bad idea to use that just so you can skew the leaderboard a little bit, because there's going to be a lot of congestion there. And the last thing we talk about, especially where we're from, is small fruit. Take the small fruit wins. We usually talk about it with PRs. You'd rather walk out of here with 1 kilo PR than missing 10 kilos on your barbell. And the same applies for the workout itself. It may not be a PR, but I would rather have you hit 85 kilos and then hit 87 instead of hitting 85 and then going for 92 and missing that, and then walking out of here being like, flip, man, I could have got 88 or 89, but you just never knew. So it could cost you a spot on the leaderboard. Take what you know, and don't shoot for the stars too hard until at least you've got something on the board, and then you can go for it.